Hello everybody, welcome to Livestream under the Moonshine number 236. We're going to continue. I know it's late, but we are going to go ahead and continue Highway Blossoms at this point and see if we can get through to the other side. At the end of part 1, I did start feeling like the game, the visual and novel, if you would, started getting a little bit cheesy with them finding tons of gold and or tons of treasure while literally thousands of people are I don't know, a football field away or 2 football fields away, not very far away, and blocked off from going near Shiprock, New Mexico, where supposedly this treasure was hidden by someone who had previously buried it, went home to Missouri or somewhere and then died, and he had plans on coming back and getting his buried treasure and going back and making his family rich. But he died, and then his maps and everything were supposedly sold off to a publishing firm who made books about it all over the state of New Mexico. And tons of people bought this book, but everybody figured out that the treasure was buried by somewhere by Shiprock, New Mexico, which is a town in a rock formation in New Mexico, which really exists. But somehow our heroines were the only ones that figured out a way to get out there and actually dig up the treasure. So very unplausible ending to part 1, to say the least. But I've experienced visual novels, guys, that had me shaking my head at some point, and I've decided to go ahead and play them through to the end and see how they end up. And you know, many times I've been glad I played it through to the end because I got something out of it, or the visual novel was, you know, better than I thought it would be. So we're going to go ahead and, I mean, we're already 3 hours into this visual novel. We probably got another 3 hours to go, something like that, and we're going to go ahead and play through to the end of it to say we did it, and we'll find out what I think of Highway Blossoms at the end of it. Now, another reason that I want to play this through to the end is because, I mean, overall it is getting overwhelmingly positive reviews, 96% positive reviews, 100% the past 30 days. Now, there is a thought process I even had towards the end of the last stream when we did this last week, was that perhaps it's getting so many positive reviews because there is an 18 plus DLC that I guess turns a lot of this visual novel into porn. So you're going to see nipples and stuff like that in this visual novel. I don't know. I don't know that people, this game would, hopefully this game wouldn't be getting 96% positive reviews if it was all just based on you know, cartoon nudity, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see what we think at the end of it. So let's go ahead and jump back into Highway Blossoms right now. Without further ado. All right. Welcome to the stream, whoever is watching. I am still suffering from a pretty bad cold, so you may hear me pause or start to sneeze. And if you hear me like mute myself, it might be because I'm sneezing or something. So it looks like, yeah, if you look at where this marker is, I guess that marker might show that we're halfway through the game. I'm not sure. I don't know if we saw this at the start. Yeah, looks like we're about halfway through, if that's the marker of how far you've completed. Alright, guys, so let me go ahead and turn the game capture on for you guys. So it fills up the screen. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and load the game. We last left off on February 17th, I guess at 59 minutes. I think so. Alright. So we just had found the treasure. We had picked up this Marina chick. We are, I don't remember our name, but we are, we pick up Marina. We are her. We are taking place of her, I know that. And we pick her up on the side of the road. She's kind of a dimwit. Oh, we're Amber, because she's wearing our shirt here. So we're Amber, her. She's wearing my shirt because she didn't have any clothes or anything like that. She was broken down on the side of the road, and her phone was dead, and so I took her to a gas station to get some gas because she had run out of gas. came back to her car, and somebody had stole her car, and then we ran into people that stole her car and salvaged it and sold it for money as well as her phone. We ran into them out here where the treasure was buried, and we made them a deal that if they let us use their like metal detector and stuff like that to help find the treasure, that we would call it even, I guess, somewhat. I mean, Amber was mad about it, I guess, that they salvaged her car, and she was very forgiving. So it is what it is, guys. Let's go ahead. Anyway, we had found the treasure, and then they had come wanting the equipment, the mining equipment that we had borrowed. And they had seen, one of the gals had seen the treasure, the gold, the box of gold that we had dug up, and they didn't make a fight for it. They didn't try to say, hey, that's half ours since you used your, we used your equipment, nothing like that, which kind of surprised me. I don't know, just so far, the whole end of the first episode, for part 1 that I did last week, seemed really unlikely, to say the least. The biggest unlikely thing was that we found the treasure when we was allowed to dig out there while people were keeping people at bay in tents and an area and walling people off from being able to go near Shiprock. But somehow we managed to get out there and dig up this treasure with nobody noticing. Pretty bizarre. So anyway, Marina hunkers down and thinks with me. Wrinkles forming on her forehead as she tries to strain out an answer. I believe we're thinking about going and digging up the more treasure that's hidden in caverns or something like that, or trenches somewhere in New Mexico, which could be pretty much anywhere. I don't know. So rather than just taking what we got and splitting it and calling it good, it looks like we're looking to go treasure hunting some more, which also seems kind of bizarre. Anyway, I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know where to start, but hey, at least she's trying.
Well, there's one place.
Okay. Marina hardly gets a breath out before I crush her dreams once again. Look at her face, she's all excited.
Not the Grand Canyon.
Not the Grand Canyon, huh? Now watch, she's gonna make a pouty face, watch. Yep. Well, not a pouty face, but not so excited. She slinks back into her chair and quietly pouts.
It's still in Arizona, but it's a different place. Canyon de Chelly.
Okay.
The Navajo weren't chased out until 1863, so the timing isn't too screwy. Place is loaded with ruins, too.
Oh, are they Pueblo in ruins?
My flow of information stops. She knows what I'm talking about. She can actually pronounce it? Huh.
Yeah. I'm surprised you know that.
Yep, I've been reading some of those travel guides lying around. Super interesting.
Oh boy. Those things must be about as old as I am by now. I didn't have the heart to throw them away when I was cleaning everything out.
Hey, that's how I did it. It's the best way to learn. Anyway, Canyon de Chelly is pretty damn close to here.
She gasped.
So it might have lined up with the route he took.
Well, I can't be 100% positive, but...
I closed my eyes and snapped the book shut, the air between the pages puffing out at us. Then, with one eye open, shoot Marina a grin.
I'm pretty sure.
Alright. Arizona's highways are infamously boring. Nothing but hills, up and down, up and down. There's nothing interesting to look at. Both sides of the road are smothered in nondescript shrubs. It's the part of the country where you just zone out and drive on autopilot. When we finally see a sign for the town of Chinle, right next to the canyon, it feels like we're approaching the promised land. Marina looks up from the book she's reading just in time to miss the sign.
Was that it? Are we there yet?
Nah, 40 miles to go still, so about half an hour.
She makes a sound like a pop balloon and goes back to reading. We take an exit in a teeny excuse for a town, one of those places that has a gas station and a few old houses. It's like in Monopoly, where you buy up all the property you can, even though it's not that great. Huh.
This is it?
Marina repeats her earlier question as I slow down and turn left.
Nope. Almost. I don't even know what this place is called.
She makes the pop balloon noise again, but leaves the book closed. When we finally reach Chile, it's pretty obvious, the first real town we've seen in hours. The outskirts are industrial and dominated by what I assume are factories. A pair of stray dogs lope along the side of the road, hungry and lean. Marina makes a sound of sympathy, pressing her face against the glass as we pass by them.
Hey, Amber.
We're not getting a dog.
But they're so cute! And we could dress them up in a bandana and...
No way. I've never gotten why people want to dress their pets up like people.
It's
Sure.
cute.
Marina pouts. I figured she was just joking, but she didn't actually think I would let her get a dog, right? It seems that all this is forgiven by the time I pull into a gas station. She's bouncing in her seat with her usual enthusiasm. Or maybe it's just her bladder. My second guess must have been correct, because as soon as I shut off the engine, she darts out of the RV and into the store. While she does that, I fuel up, no telling when we'll be at the next gas station. Could be 100 miles. And this thing drinks gasoline like a thirsty dog drinks water. By the time I finish, Marina still isn't back, so I lock up and head inside. The store is devoid of other customers. It's remarkable with all the usual selection of candy, chips, and overpriced beef jerky. I'm not hungry, just passing time. Soon, Marina trots out of the bathroom, glancing around. She spots me and heads over.
Want anything?
Duh, let's see.
I leave her to agonize over the candy bars while I flip through some of the travel brochures beneath the window. There are a couple about the Canyon de Chile, which is our destination just up the road. There are flyers for other Arizona attractions too, including the non-local ones. Of course, there are a few brochures for the Grand Canyon, plus a couple of must-see sites in Phoenix, the capital. There's even an ad for a novelty just called The Thing in Tucson. That's far out of our way.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alright. I turn around. Marina has a couple of king-size candy bars in her hands and a large bottle of Coke tucked under her arm.
You seriously need all that?
I thought we could share.
She gives me her best offended puppy impression.
Fine, fine.
I still don't want anything, but I can't say no to that.
Here. I'm gonna use the bathroom too. Meet you at the car.
I place my wallet atop the pallet of candy she's carrying and send her towards the attendant. When I come back out of the bathroom, Marina is still talking to the clerk. There's a bag in her hand, so she must have already finished paying and gotten distracted talking. I joined the two of them.
Closed off, so only the guided tours are open right now.
Marina looks like she's seen a ghost.
What's up?
I take my wallet from where it's just sitting, forgotten on the counter.
I was just asking about the canyon and the tours and stuff.
The clerk nods.
Yup, I was saying how if you're here to sightsee, you might have some trouble. A lot of it's closed off because of all the kids coming and causing trouble looking for treasure.
Ha 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 ha. Damn, I'm not surprised, but that's frustrating.
What isn't closed off?
Well, there are still some tours you can go on. Most of them, I think. But you can't do the self-guided ones.
Marina looks at me, eyes wide. Clearly she's expecting some solution from me. I just smile at the attendant.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. And lead a dumbstruck Marina out of the store. Alright. As I unlock the RV, Marina prances around me.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna take a nap.
She stops.
Huh?
I'm tired, so I'm going to nap for a little bit. I checked one of the pamphlets and there's a tour at 6:30, so we'll just join that and then sneak off.
Like, on our own?
Yeah.
Her eyes go wide again.
Amber, you're a genius!
I twist a lock of hair around my finger and glance away. Her constant compliments are a little embarrassing, especially for stuff that seems obvious to me.
Thanks. It's not much of a plan, though.
Yeah, but at least it's a plan. I thought we were just gonna have to give up or something.
Nah. Rules are made to be broken and all that.
I feel a bit guilty that we'll be breaking rules specifically put in place because of people like us. But I can safely say that we'll be more careful than the average treasure hunter. Just picturing Mariah, I can easily see her smashing down ancient ruins in her search.
But yeah, wake me up at 5:30. Unless you're going to nap too.
Nope, I'm not tired anymore, so I'll just read some more.
Alright. Good night.
Night-night!
I leave her up in the front as I head back to my bed and fall into it. After bunching up my blankets all around me, it doesn't take long to fall asleep. Highway blossoms. Okay, I wake up slowly, fighting to keep my eyes open. The back of my head, I feel like something is wrong. It takes a minute before I realize I've overslept. It's 5:45. Oh boy, 15 minutes. Marina was supposed to wake me up 15 minutes ago.
Marina?
I call her name but get no response. Rolling out of bed, I massage my eyes and stumble towards the front. Of course, she's asleep, sprawled out on the dash with her head buried in her arms. It looks like she's been out for a while. Jerking her by the shoulder, I shake her awake.
What's up, Amber?
Her speech is slurred by the sleepiness. I ignore the temptation to make the not you joke.
How's that book you're reading?
It's great. I just put it down to...
A look of shock spreads across her face. Mounting horror takes over as she realizes the time.
Oh god, I'm so sorry. I was just gonna nap, but then I forgot to set an alarm. I mean, to wake me up.
Yeah, that's what alarms are for.
Freaking out, she hurriedly tries to buckle her seatbelt, failing several times in a frenzy. I pat her on the shoulder as I sit down. It's not even a big deal, but she's so worked up.
It's cool. We're not late yet. Ready to go?
Marina just nods, staring at the floor. Alright, I buckle up and turn the key, the engine roars to life, and I throw it into reverse. I have to crane my neck to make sure I don't run over anybody. Road signs direct us out of the town and towards the canyon. After spending so long on the highway, going down these streets with lower speed limits feels restrictive. From the corner of my eye, I watch Marina. She's being abnormally quiet. She fixes her hair, pops her knuckles, and rubs her shoulders, but she doesn't say anything. Finally, I cave in.
What's wrong with you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Her tone of voice is stressed. Maybe I'm more intimidating than I think.
You're being weird. Super quiet.
Oh, I didn't know if you were mad at me or not.
What, for falling asleep?
She nods.
Nah, I'm not mad. Trust me, you'd know for sure if I was. I told you it wasn't a big deal, didn't I?
You promise?
Yeah, I promise.
Marina bounces in her seat, immediately cheerier.
Okay, cool. 'Cause, like, if you were mad at me already, that would be a bad sign.
Sign of what?
That we wouldn't be good partners. You know, treasure hunting buddies?
Oh, we're partners now, are we? You're the sidekick, right?
No way! I'm totally the main character. We're here because of me.
I laugh, causing her to turn away smiling. She's a lot cuter when she smiles. I've been smiling more too, I realize, and as I think that, it starts to make me sad again. Do I really deserve to be smiling right now?
Hey, Amber?
Huh.
Like she read my mind, Marina snaps me out of it.
Can we listen to Super Crush again?
You seriously like that one?
Super Crush was one of those groups that Gramps loved to show off to other people because they were so weird. All of the members played a different instrument on each album, so it was like the whole other band every time.
Yeah, it was different, but in a good way.
That's definitely true.
With one hand on the steering wheel, I dig around in the bin of tapes by my feet. I flick my gaze between that and the road. Finally, I find the one I'm looking for. It has the Halloween orange case with text that looks like slime. When it starts to play, Marina hums along. She's almost on key. Guess she liked it enough to remember how the songs go. I crank up the volume, earning a grin from Marina. The sound is tinny and distorted at this level. More distorted than usual, I mean. But it's also a lot more fun. Our smiles last all the way until we roll into a nearly empty parking lot. As I turn the volume back down, I can tell she's thinking the same thing that I am.
Amber?
Yeah?
Shouldn't there be, like, other people waiting here?
There probably should. What time is it?
Marina twists around to check.
6:20?
What the hell? Did they start early?
There are other cars around, but they're all unoccupied. My parking job is hasty, as I take up 2 spaces, but I don't bother to correct it. Okay? We hurry out of the RV. I almost forget the key in the ignition and have to double check to grab it. Marina's already over at the information desk, probably talking to a ranger. But then she turns back to me, the despair on her face visible even though it's getting dark.
There's no one here!
There aren't any lights on the inside either, probably closed at 6. I vaguely recall reading that in a brochure, but I thought there would still be someone around for the tours.
Don't panic!
I jog back to the RV and unlock it again, rummaging through the glove box. I pull out the little blue flashlight that Gramps gave me a few years back. I click it on and off a couple of times to make sure that it still works. After I lock everything back up again, I join Marina by the unhelpful help desk. She's bouncing on her heels, hands clasped together.
Hey, it's alright. Worst comes to worst, we'll just do it tomorrow.
But what if someone else finds the treasure tonight?
I don't have an answer for that one.
Guess we'll just have to catch up then, huh?
Turning on the flashlight, I swing the beam around. While there's still some daylight left, it isn't much. Maybe half an hour at the most.
Catch up to what?
The tour group, silly. Even if we're late, they can't have left that long ago. And they'll be stopping a bunch, so we should be able to find them easily.
By ourselves?
Her voice is almost a squawk, like a surprised parrot.
Well, yeah. I don't see anyone else around. Do you?
I swivel around, illuminating nothing but rocks and bushes.
Come on, it'll be fine. It's not like there are going to be bears or mountain lions this close to a parking lot.
Those kinds of things live here?
If she didn't know that, then what is she afraid of?
Probably. I don't know. But come on, we're wasting time.
Marina whimpers. Then, surprisingly, she grabs my hand. Hers is sweaty and warm. I turn around and look at her and meet her wide-eyed. It looks like she might cry, and it makes me regret being so pushy.
We don't have to do it if you don't want to.
She shakes her head but clings to me like a kid, her free hand buried in my clothes. If it were any brighter out, she'd have seen my face turn red.
No, like I said, if we don't go now, someone else will beat us to it. Just stay close, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Alright guys, so I think I'm starting to see that this visual novel per se is more about the relationship that Amber and Marina are forming here than it is about any buried treasure anywhere. Yeah, I think this is gonna turn into some kind of a pretty pretty close relationship for these two gals. As in like a sexual relationship, a serious relationship, would you say? She lets me lead, but it doesn't let go of my hand. A large wooden sign marks the start of the trail.
So, are you scared of the dark?
No answer.
But you were fine at Shiprock.
That was different.
Marina's arm jerks, but she doesn't let go of me.
That was in a town. With people. And roads. And no mountain lions.
The temptation to tease her even more is strong, but I don't. Every time a bird caws or something makes a brush shake, I feel her flinch a little. Somehow, even this side of her is cute too. A little childish, sure, but it's nice to have her rely on me, and to keep her safe. To take her mind off of things, I make small talk.
So, what are you gonna do once you're filthy rich from the treasure?
Sorry, what?
I asked what you'll do with your share of the treasure.
Oh, I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about it.
We're out here looking, and you don't even have a plan for it?
It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. What about you, huh?
I don't know either.
Ha! See, I'm not.
Yeah, but I wasn't planning on looking for it, you know? I haven't spent as much time thinking about it.
I glance behind me to see Marina stick out her tongue, and I laugh. Yep, they're definitely
let's
getting
see.
closer.
I definitely need to pay off Gramps' hospital and funeral expenses. After that, I guess I should probably get the motorhome fixed up. It's not gonna break down on us or anything, but it's kind of old.
Why not just buy a new one?
Hell no!
My response comes out snappier than I intended.
It's just that it has sentimental value, you know? I'd rather keep that than buy a newer, better car. I grew up in that thing.
Yep.
I could never just replace it. After that, I'd probably just keep doing what I was doing before I met you.
Right?
And what's that?
Wandering.
Don't you want to stop wandering sometime?
My steps slow a bit. It's an innocent question, but it hits me really hard.
Not yet, no.
I whisper it. Marina catches up next to me, dropping my hand as she does so.
At least I'm not the only one without a goal.
I poke her in the side, and she squirms away a couple of feet.
Ow!
My face. Oops.
Torque.
It's hard to stay sad around her. And as we turn around a curve of the road, the tour group comes into view. Just ahead is a cluster of people, most of them armed with flashlights. It's hard to know for sure, but I can see at least a dozen different figures. The tour guide is shining his light up at a rock face, illuminating some designs on it. Everyone has their backs to us.
Try to be as sneaky as possible. We want to join up without them noticing, like we've been there the whole time. If anyone notices us show up, they might notice when we leave.
Why do we have to join up in the first place?
I don't know how to get to the ruins we're looking for. We'll stay with the group until the tour gets there, and then we'll sneak off.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, I guess. Marina nods.
Okay, follow my lead. And remember, be as quiet as you can.
We creep forward slowly. If someone were to turn around and see us, we'd look pretty suspicious. But nobody does. The lecture of petroglyphs gets their full attention. Marina kicks a rock and I tense up, expecting that to break the spell. But we're close enough now that if it did, it might not even matter. And we reach the back of the tour group without anyone noticing. I give Marina a thumbs up, which she returns.
You're right, you could see the Anasazi ruins. Some of the Navajo people still call the area home. There's a living community in the canyon who...
I'm not too interested in hearing about his history of the place, so I turn back to Marina. She's looking up at the pictures too, through her eye, though her eyes appear glazed over. When she catches me staring, she blinks and then smiles. I smile back, but I must look like an idiot just watching her instead of the lecture. After a minute, the guide's speech concludes and we start to walk down the trail. Much to my dismay, before I can say anything to Marina, the woman in front of us turns around.
Isn't that just crazy?
Huh?
It takes a second for me to understand that she's talking to me. She fits just about every stereotype of redneck, from the huge hat on her head to the baby strapped on her chest. She'd probably be attractive if not for the layers of sunscreen coating her face. Even though it's nearly nighttime, they make her look like a ghost.
I said, isn't that just crazy? What he was saying about those Indians and how they used to communicate with each other.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I had wanted to talk to her, I still have no idea what the guide had said.
They were just so darn clever. Really makes you wonder how they all ended up dying out, huh?
I'm pretty sure a lot of them are still alive. And, like, some of them live here?
I had heard that much, but but apparently not everyone did. For a second, the woman looks at me like I'm crazy, but then she busts up laughing.
Sorry, you're absolutely right. I was thinking of them Aztecs down in Mexico.
Her laugh is more like a bray. She sounds like a farm animal. In my head, I am hoping she'll turn back around and just leave us alone. But we're not so lucky. She keeps on chatting us up as we follow the trail. I'm self-conscious about how noisy she's being, compared to the low noise levels of everybody else.
Say, is that where the name Texas comes from? From Aztec?
Before I could answer, she started shouting at someone else. What the heck?
Howard! Hey, Howard, come over here!
Oh boy. By now, nearly everyone is looking at us.
Ma'am, can you please keep your voice down?
Oops, sorry.
She's apologizing loudly. So much for staying inconspicuous. Howard makes his way over here. He looks rather defeated, face dropping and shoulders sagging. I'm sure he's the woman's husband.
Yes, dear.
Hi,
I was
Howard.
just talking to this girl here about history, and I was wondering, does the name Texas have anything to do with the Aztecs? Since the words sound kind of similar?
I don't think so.
Huh, go figure.
She cackles again, beside her Howard's size. For his sake, I hope her family is loaded or something. Wow, that's messed up to think that. Well, I hope that her family is making you rich for you to have to put up with this annoying bitch. That's kind of what she's thinking. Every time she laughs, the baby on her chest bounces, but the lucky kid sleeps right through it all. Maybe she's used to this.
Anyway, I must have left my manners back in Wisconsin. My name's Linda, and this is my husband, Howard. This little chimp right here.
She thrusts herself, and thus the baby, towards me.
Is Dino. Ain't that just the
Dino?
cutest name?
Dino for a name? Talk about redneck, huh? Dino for the baby's name. I just grunt in response. I'm trying to see around her, up to where the guide is alternating between shooting Linda death glares and trying to narrate narrate the walk. If he said anything useful about the canyon in the past couple of minutes, I would have missed it entirely. Glancing over at Marina, who has pulled away a couple of feet, it looks like she's enjoying my torture in struggling silence. Tears have formed at the corner of her eyes, glittering in the dying light. Oh, she's enjoying this a little bit too much, huh? Forming tears from watching it so much? Or enjoying it so much? They're the kind of tears, they're good kind of tears though. The kind from laughing too much. Her hand is smooched over her mouth, and she's shaking with the effort to stay silent. That's funny. There's no way I can let her get away with that, especially since I need to get closer to the front for now. I grab her arm and tug her over into Linda's line of sight.
I'm Jane.
I say I'm Jane. The enthusiasm in my voice is so forced.
And this is my friend Lacey.
This is my friend Lacey. She's gonna say Melina. This is my friend Lacey. I use fake names just to be safe. Marina limply shakes Linda's hand, which has grabbed hers. The mirth has vanished from Marina's face. Good.
Nice to meet you.
Lacey. Linda pumps her arm like a guillotine, grinning broadly and still managing to walk.
It's so good to see young people taking an interest in nature and history and all that. Are y'all from around here? We're originally from Tennessee, see, but moved to Wisconsin and...
Having been properly introduced, I leave Marina to suffer through the family history. I shift away and walk ahead, passing by most of the tour group, so that I can better hear the guide. For a while, he talks about the wildlife and the history of the park. After a couple of minutes, though, the lessons become more relevant.
We'll be coming up on the Mummy Cave ruins here in just a little bit. That's one of the better-known sites in the canyon. 700 years ago, it was a bustling Poblonian village. We can't get too close to the ruins, so unfortunately it might be a little too late to really see them clearly tonight. While the Mummy Cave itself hasn't ever been open to the public.
That's all I needed to know, so I started to slip back towards Marina. It looks like she's still being held hostage by the tales of the Wisconsin family adventures. Linda notices me approaching.
Oh, Jane, there you are. I was just telling Lacey about one of the cows I helped birth when I was younger.
I'm not sure how the conversation went from introductions to cow birth in such a short span of time, but I'm not curious enough to ask. When I rejoin Marina, she mouths 2 words.
Save me!
That's kind of funny. I don't know how to get out of this one. Annoyance aside, it'll be impossible to slip away with Linda's attention on us. But it seems we're in luck. As we go around another bend in the road, something more interesting than Marina and me comes into view.
Oh, Howard, look! This is it. This is one of those mummy ruins I was telling you about.
Oh boy. Linda elbows forward, moving ahead of us.
You girls make sure you get a good spot. You're gonna want to see this, even if it's dark out.
She forges ahead, her husband trailing dutifully. As he passes, I think I hear him say sorry, but I'm not sure. Once they're out of earshot, Marina makes a sound like a train letting out steam.
Oh my god. I thought I was gonna explode. My ears or my head or my brain or something.
Saw you laughing and figured it wasn't fair if I was the only one who suffered.
I'd take it all back if I could. Seriously though, first she was talking about herself, then about her kid, then about her childhood, and then she started talking about growing up on a farm. Somehow she ended up going on about cows having babies and how messy it all is. I don't even know.
What, you're not interested in that stuff?
Ew, no! Gross, gross, gross!
She wrinkles up her face as she says it. I giggle, but then turn serious real fast.
Okay, but listen. Because it's dark, the group probably isn't going to stop to look at the Mummy Cave ruins for very long. So we'll have to wait until we can sneak away again, and then go over there ourselves.
Now,
How far away are they?
No idea. I can't see from here. Just follow my lead.
Got it.
alright. We've been at the very back of the group the entire time. The people right in front of us are much less interested in us than Linda was. So I don't think anyone will notice if we go missing. When we reach a railing, the guide stops to point out the ruins. They're across a small valley, a couple 100 yards away. In the darkness, it's almost impossible to see them. They're just a dark smudge against the even darker backdrop of a mountain. Marina and I are a few yards away from the group as well. I pretend to inspect something on a rock, though there's nothing there. As the short speech ends and the guide starts to lead everyone onward again, I dart behind a rock and crouch down, and Marina quickly follows. I can see her start to say something, but I cut my hand over my mouth before she can get a word out. Silently, I shake my head. Marina nods twice, so I uncover her face. In my head, I count to 60. Once a minute has passed, I peel myself away from the rock and stand back up.
We should be safe now.
Marina's face lights up and she claps her hands. I notice that she's taken out the journal page for the hiding spot again.
That was so cool! It was like something out of a video game where you just sneak away right in front of everyone.
I guess so, but we still can't be noisy. They're not gonna be that far away.
Yep.
No flashlights either.
This close up, I can see her face this close up, I can see her face fall at that.
Don't worry, I'll be right beside you.
Are we just gonna hop the fence and walk over there?
Unless you have any better ideas.
What if they catch us?
Then they'll throw us out.
We're not gonna get arrested for trespassing or anything, are we?
Nah, that'd be too much trouble for them.
No. I say that, although I actually don't know.
Okay.
The uncertainty in her voice is obvious. I grab the paper from her hands and stuff it in my pocket.
Let's go. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that they'll notice us missing.
I stroll over to the metal rail, hoping that I sound more confident than I am. Honestly, this is pretty risky, and more than a little stupid. But it's also exciting. I duck down and underneath the rail. After a moment, Marina does the same. We're officially out of the bounds. Across the small field, I can still just barely make out the shape of the ruins. They sit close to the mouth of a large cave that runs up the mountain like a scar. Okay?
Okay, come on.
There's an incline, but it's not too bad. Next to me, Marina spreads her arms out for balance, but I'm confident enough to not need to do that. Crossing over the ruins themselves will be the riskiest part. There's no cover, and anyone who happens to look over will see us. We just have to hope that the tour group has moved to somewhere without a line of sight on us.
Okay, hurry.
I grab Marina's hand again and start to run. She struggles to keep up, so I slow down a little bit. It takes time, maybe 2 minutes from one end to the other. When we reach the far wall, Marina's breathing is strained.
Don't do much running, do you?
Not it. Oh.
Every word is punctuated with a pant. I'm winded too, but fight my lungs to not show it. I have to look strong for Marina.
Ready for the fun part?
Is it actually fun?
Not yet. We've still got to get up there.
The ruin. I point to the lip of the cave, a good 50 feet or so above us still. Marina's face goes pale as she stares at the sheer rock wall in front of us.
We're not gonna have to climb that, are we?
How
we are.
else?
How else do we do it? I wait for a second for the shock to hit her face before I laugh and shake my head.
Just kidding. Come over here.
A short distance away is the slope. Somewhat steep, but not too long. It leads up to a part of the cave close to the ruins.
We actually do have to go up this one.
Her face still looks doubtful.
I don't know if I can get up that.
Sure you can. It's easy. Look.
I hike up a couple of steps. Dirt and bit of gravel tumble down past my feet, but it's mostly stable.
It's almost all dirt. If it was loose rock, we'd be in trouble.
Still looking uncertain, Marina takes a careful step behind me, and then another. Must be pretty steep. She slides back down a little bit with each step. Yeah, definitely pretty steep trail here.
Try to spread out your weight a little more evenly. You don't want to lose your balance and fall over.
Right. By doing what I say, she's able to reach where I'm standing.
Good job. Now just do that like 50 more times.
Ha 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 ha. Marina groans, but I've already started up. I glance back behind me. She's trailing only a couple of steps behind. For all her worrying, she seems to be doing okay. I'm just about to compliment her when I feel the earth shift beneath me and my foot slides loose. Uh-oh. With a yelp, I lose my balance, arms filling as I try not to fall. I think Marina's going to pick her up or save her, catch her or something. Then, faster than I can process, Marina's arms shoot out and grabs my sleeve. She tugs me back upright. What did I say?
Are you okay? Oh my god, is your ankle alright? It's not broken, is it?
Panic is clearly painted across her face.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, she doesn't sound fine. The only thing injured here is my pride.
Are you sure?
Yeah, thanks. Good save.
Yep. Good save there, Melina. Or is that her name? I don't know. We climb up the rest of the way together, but slowly. At the top, both of us stretch and catch our breath.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
Besides the part where you almost died, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't almost die. Besides, that's what I have my sidekick for.
She gives me a playful shove.
Hey, I told you, I'm not the sidekick here.
Uh-huh. You'll still have to earn the title of captain. Or commander. Whatever it is. And you can do that by finding this thing before I do.
Now that we're actually up in the ruins themselves, it's more clear just how tough this is going to be. The cave stretches for a long way, like a deep scar in the mountain. Delicate clay buildings, some barely as tall as we are arranged throughout. They say this is a village, but it's hard to imagine anyone living in here. Everyone is so cramped. Everything is so cramped and small.
Where do you think we should start?
Hard to say. It won't be anywhere obvious. Remember, people have been studying this place for decades.
True.
What if someone already found it? Like a long time ago.
I shrug, but that's probably impossible to see. The sun has now gone entirely down, leaving us in shadowed darkness. I wonder why Marina doesn't seem bothered by this time.
If they did, then I haven't heard anything about it. We've just got to start looking. Try to be careful, though.
I feel bad being here. Maybe this was a bad idea.
Be super careful, then. And watch for spiders!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there probably would be a lot of spiders there. I flick on the spare flashlight and pass it to her, just in time to see the look of disgust at the mention of the spiders. We split up, staying close to each other, but not overlapping where we look. I get down on my hands and knees, shining light into every corner and cranny that I can. I worry that our lights might be visible from a distance, even though they aren't very powerful. The only alternative would be to sneaking over in the broad daylight, but we'd be much more likely to be caught then. I'm not finding anything except dirt. I brush my fingers along the clay bricks in hopes of finding a loose stone or a secret compartment. No, there's nothing like that. Nearby, Marina's doing the same thing. She's hitched up her dress so that it doesn't drag along the ground, and I force myself to look away rather than stare. She offers quite a view, though. Seems what I'm talking about. After a moment, Marina giggles. I'm not sure why. I haven't spoken at all because I don't want our voices to echo in the cave and give us away. But silently searching gets tedious fast, so I decide to try whispering.
What's so funny?
I don't know. Everything, I guess? I was just thinking how weird this is. Like, it's just so random, you know?
Alright, Aristotle.
Who's that?
Never mind. But yeah, it is kinda crazy.
Deciding that the building was I was scouring as a lost cause, I move on to the next one.
I know it's probably not a big deal for you since you do this stuff all the time, but this is honestly the most fun I've ever had, I think.
Destroying ancient Native American landmarks?
I'm being careful. Super careful. But just in general, being out here on the road. I thought maybe I was making a mistake when I left, but not anymore.
I'm glad.
And I am. I really am.
Guess it worked out well for both of us.
I can't see her from here, but I know she's smiling. Then she giggles again.
Oh, Amber, you're a big ol' softy after all, aren't you?
I'm not.
You are too. The total softie.
I take it back. I should have left you on the side of the road.
This time we both laughed. After that we lapsed back into the near silence. The sound of us crawling around or occasionally moving to another building to search. Soon, the happy atmosphere starts to dissolve as we start getting frustrated. Or at least I do. It takes me maybe 20 minutes before we've looked over all the buildings. That's not too long. 20 minutes to look over all the buildings? There aren't that many, but combing over them isn't that hard. But we don't find anything. Not even a clue or a hint we're in the right spot. Sighing through my nose, I start double checking some of the larger homes. All the crawling and bending is starting to take a toll on me. When I straighten up, my back is sore, and sweat presses my hair to my forehead. We should have brought some bottles of water with us. Yeah, you think? I lean against a rock wall and massage my shoulders. Marina finishes up a building, then joins me. She's biting her lip, frowning just a little.
Any luck?
Nope, nothing. You?
We both pause, and we're silent.
So... that's it, right? Like we've checked all the buildings?
Can't be. We must have missed something. I'm going to try checking out the cave itself.
She just stands there. Watches as I head over to the far side. I shine my flashlight up and down again, examining every inch of the rock. There's got to be a crevice where the gold is stashed. Or some other hiding place. There has to be. But none of the cracks are wide enough or deep enough for something like that. A few minutes later, and I pass by Marina, still in the same place. I check her face as I go. Her eyebrows are furrowed, and she looks worried. I keep hunting. Images of Mariah triumphantly holding up the gold spur on me. Just the thought of her smug grin pisses me off. When I reach the other side of the cave, I double back and check it again. And again. Finally, Marina pulls away from the wall. I hear it, but I don't see it.
Amber, come on. There's no way.
Her voice is a knife in my heart. It hurts because I know she's right. I sigh and flick off my flashlight. Standing there, I look at the invisible ground and have to admit the truth to myself. It's just not here. There's no treasure to be found in the Mummy Cave ruins. Either we got it wrong or someone beat us to it. Whichever the answer, there's nowhere else in here that it could possibly be. I make my way back to Marina slowly. I can feel stinging tears of frustration beginning to well up in my eyes, which surprises me. I'm sure Mariah would be laughing at me if she were here right now. Abruptly, I stop walking towards her, spin around. I don't want Marina to see my tears. There's a sound of crunching dirt as she walks over.
Amber?
There's worry in her voice now. I shake my head. I don't know if she can see me. She lays her hand on my shoulder, and 2 tears manage to leak out of my eyes. Aww. I shake my head again.
Amber, it's okay.
Aww.
No. I'm sorry. I screwed up. I was wrong. There's nothing here.
I know there isn't. Seriously, that's okay.
I sob, not even knowing why. Damn it. Get a grip, Amber. I wrench my eyes shut before the waterworks really start. It burns, but I manage to hold back. Taking deep breaths, I get myself under control. I sink down to lean against the wall and of the cave, and Marina does the same. Our clothes are dusty from being on the ground so much. Marina pokes me in the side.
You okay?
I draw a rattly breath.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I don't know what that was about. I just got super frustrated.
Yeah, I could tell.
Can it?
I flickered gently on the knee.
But, that was kind of embarrassing.
No, it's okay, really. I cry all the time at home. Don't worry.
It's like losing. Not finding the treasure, I mean. So I'm mad for wasting all our time on this. Aren't you?
No, why would I be?
She sounds genuinely surprised.
Because now we're behind on the next one, too. What if someone beats us to all the rest of them?
Now you sound like me.
Huh.
Oh god, is there a cure?
Meanie. But really, I had fun, so I don't think it was a waste of time. Even if we're not, like, super rich now, I'm glad we came here.
Once again, I don't even have to look to know that she's smiling. She's always smiling, after all. It's one of the cuter things about her, and there are lots of those things. But I'm afraid to look up and meet her eyes. Afraid because I know that what I'm starting to feel lately, and how I've been thinking of her. It's stupid to get bothered by this now, I know. We've been together all day. But right now, when I'm already being over-emotional, I feel like it'd be just a bad idea.
Amber?
And then, by reflex, I do it anyway. I look over, and I was right. My heart flutters a little, but the smile I was anticipating has been replaced by yet another look of concern.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it wasn't so bad.
She brightens up immediately.
For real?
Mm-hmm. I'm good now. Still, sorry for freaking out there for a sec.
It's okay. Don't feel bad.
Groaning, I stand up again. I'm definitely going to be sore tomorrow.
We should get out of here, though. Longer we spend, the more likely we are to get caught.
It's been probably 45 minutes or so since we ditched the tour group. Hopefully they didn't get search and rescue out to go looking for us. I offer my hand to Marina, who's still sitting on the ground. She takes it, and I haul her to her feet. After dusting herself off, we both walk to the edge of the cave. It's impossible to see anything. Even the trail across the way is invisible from here.
Watch your step going down the hill.
Yeah, we don't want anyone to almost die again.
Going down the hill is easier than going up, even though we still have to be careful. We make it to the bottom without incident. We don't risk the flashlights until we're back across the fence and on the trail. Now that we're not out of bounds, it doesn't matter if anyone sees us.
Where do we go now?
I think about it for a moment. There's not much point to catching up with the tour again. Besides, it's probably ended by now. Still, if they did notice we had disappeared, then it could be bad for us to leave the park. The last thing I want to see is our faces on missing person posters the next time we stop at a gas station. But they've got a 45-minute lead on us, and that'll only grow if we were to try to find them.
We'll just go back to the parking lot and get out of here. If anyone asks, we can just say we left early.
Thank God. I was hoping you'd say that.
How come?
I'm so tired.
Same. My back's gonna hurt for a year.
At least you have the comfy bed.
Hey, you could always...
Uh-oh. Here it is. Here it is. You could always come cuddle with me.
Grab some more pillows from the closet if you need.
Oh, no, not yet.
There are more?
Oh yeah. Gramps liked to have a zillion pillows when he slept.
Oh.
He sounds let down. Oops, maybe I should have made that connection there.
Don't worry. They weren't like his special pillows or anything. You can use them.
All right.
Damn, she really starts to worry when I mention him. Guess there's good reason for that. But right now, though the thought is a familiar job of sadness, I'm not about to break down. I'm doing okay for right now. We're quiet the rest of the way down the trail, though. Without having to stick to the slow pace of the guided tour, it's actually a quick walk. There aren't any other hikers out, which surprises me. It's dark, but it's not that late. As we reach the parking lot, it seems like we had perfect timing, or maybe perfectly awful timing. Spilling out of a trailhead on the other side is the tour group that we were briefly a part of. I recognize the tour guide, as well as...
Oh, there you girls are!
Uh-oh. Oh no. Yeah, I would say this is not perfect timing. Yeah. Linda. She came from my blind spot before we had time to hide. Oh no. I don't even try to force a smile as I turn to face her. She strolls up to us. Dino is still asleep. Howard's nowhere to be seen, though. Maybe he's already in their car.
I was hoping to see y'all before you left.
Yeah, we were pretty tired, so we came back early.
Oh, I'll bet you are.
She winks at me like she's in on the joke. Problem is, I don't know what the joke's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
Don't think I didn't notice you two running off now. Figured you were, you know.
Oh boy. She laughs and shakes her head.
I think that's good, though. Reminds me of me and my Howard when we were younger. We used to sneak off every chance we got, if you know what I mean.
Oh boy. She thinks they're doing wild things. Do the wild thing. My face starts to turn red as I realize what she's thinking. Marina's probably tomato colored, though I don't turn to look. Look at her face.
We weren't... we're not.
Huh.
No need to be embarrassed or anything like that. And besides, at least you won't get pregnant.
Oh my god, that's funny. She laughs heartily, the baby on her chest bouncing with emotion.
Sorry, though. I'm getting to be a bit too nosy for my own good. Y'all girls be safe out there. It was nice to get to know you.
Yeah. She grabs my hand from my side and pumps it into a vigorous handshake, and then does the same to Marina. Neither of us react. We're just still dumbfounded. Then she heads off towards the sea of cars. More of a puddle now, since most have already left. I turn to Marina. As expected, her face is scarlet.
Wow.
Huh.
Right? That poor baby. And that poor husband.
I didn't think people like that were real. Like, they only existed in books and movies and stuff.
They say the desert does weird things to your head. Or maybe Wisconsin does.
A Wisconsin joke. I shrug and start walking back towards the RV. I'm glad that Marina doesn't push the topic of Linda's misconception. I unlock the door and let Marina in first. Now there's your sign of love, right? And care? You unlock the door and let them in first. Anyway, or maybe that's just respect. We're one of the last ones here. Before I pull the door shut, I take a final look around a Canyon de Shelley, or what little of it I can see. It may have been a bust, but like Marina said, it wasn't a total waste of time. Highway Blossom. Inside the RV once again, I crash down into the driver's seat and kick my feet up on the dash. It's a relief to sit on something soft. Like a satellite, Marina hovers around me, expectant.
So that was a failure, obviously.
Do you think it might be in a different part of the canyon?
Maybe, but we're not gonna find out. We could spend days out here and not find anything. Most likely, someone else found it before us. Maybe even before this whole treasure hunt thing started.
She stares at the ground and then perks back up.
That's okay, though. All we can do is move on.
Reaching into the glove compartment, she brings out the journal and hands it to me.
Come on! Show me why the human travel guide is the best.
I look at her for a moment, and then with a smile, gently take it from her.
Sure thing. But that's the first and only time you're ever gonna call me that, okay?
Okay.
I flip through the journal and skim the pages. I skipped one of the entries last time because it looked like a jumbled puzzle, but if we're gonna find the rest of the treasure, then we need to tackle this head on. Bracing myself for the confusion, I find the entry and groan. I write to you today not from my dear Lamassi's wrinkled landmark, but from a destination of unforeseen detour. During my journey eastbound, I encountered a split within the dusted road. I have encountered many of these on my travels, but this one triggered a thought that perhaps, maybe, I've been too obvious with my hiding. Let us assume a jealous peer wanted to track me. Paranoia or not, if they so desire, they easily could. My steed's prints are set within the sand, and I have not disguised my livelihood. In fact, one may call these a trail. If one were to follow this trail, they may even happen onto my bounty. The likelihood of this is very slim. However, I've always considered myself to be a man who only takes calculated risks, which is why I'm shocked that this thought has never crossed my mind before. Surely an intelligent, rugged, and worldly individual such as myself would have come to this conclusion by now. Or perhaps I am none of these things. Nevertheless, I marked the split and took the path I felt was less traveled. After I had covered enough distance, I found a satisfactory location. Aha! Acres of identical arched stone were spread across this area. The more I traveled, the more there were. On occasion I had seen more, but never so close together, nor so plentiful. Though I do worry one could narrow down the gold if they had the will. Alas, the remnants of my illness reappeared, forcing me to find a resting site. Eventually I settled between two stones, unlike the archstone. I often feared they would fall or collapse on me, but their balance seemed steady, and they provided shade and scenery. So once again, I am rested and determined. While this detour took precious time away from me, I very much feel it was worth the security that it provides, even if it was unnecessary. Yes, this morning I looked in my pouch. It would appear as if I have enough gold for one last burial. Lamassi's landmark seems more proper for this.
Oh no.
Huh.
Oh no. Does that mean you don't know where it's at?
The opposite. I know exactly where it's at.
Then what's the problem?
I lean back in the chair and look at the ceiling.
It's in Arches National Park.
Cool. Then let's go.
Huh. I ignore her and keep looking at the ceiling.
Arches has over 2,000 natural stone arches. The miner said he hid it between two stones.
Yeah, it's gonna be like finding a needle in a haystack. He blinks, and I sigh.
An arch is a rock formation that curves in the air. Think of it as an upside-down U.
Wow. Finally, she gets the message. Her face morphs into a blank canvas, and she stares out the windshield.
Oh no.
Yeah. If we want to find this thing, then we need to look between every single arch and arches.
Oh boy. After a moment of petrified silence, Marina takes back the journal and returns it to its proper place in the glove compartment. With a shaky smile, Marina looks back at me and tries blowing it off.
Arches National Park, huh? It's somewhere in Moab, right? You ever been?
With a shaky grin of my own, I respond, totally ignoring the impossible feat ahead of us.
Yeah, I went to Moab a long time ago. Arches is really famous. Like, world famous.
We're both sweating, staring at the long road ahead of us as we try to make casual conversation. It's like a game
I've
of
always
chicken.
wanted to go.
It's like a game of chicken who's going to break first, right?
I've always wanted to go.
Where have you vacationed to before?
Honestly, nowhere. Not out
Aw.
of the state, at least.
Never left, what was it, Carlsbad, New Mexico?
For real? Not even to visit family?
Nuh-uh. My grandparents live in New Mexico, too. I think only my big brother has been outside of the state.
Well, now.
You got any other siblings? Or is it just you two?
She shakes her head.
There's 9 of us. I've got 2 younger brothers, 3 older brothers, an older sister, and 2 little sisters.
Wow, that's a lot of kids. I whistle.
Damn, that's a big-ass Christmas card.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? At some point, it's just like, aren't you ever gonna stop? I'm almost out of fingers to count on.
Chuckling, I stand up and walk back to the back. Marina follows behind me.
What about you? Do you have any siblings?
Nah, just me. Otherwise, they'd probably be riding around this old thing with us.
As I say that, I collapse down to my bed, sprawling out. Sitting up felt good, but this is heavenly. The bed sinks a little as she takes a seat on its edge.
I can't really imagine having a single brother or sister. Definitely not 8 of them. But I guess they don't all live at home.
Actually,
You're kidding.
only one of my brothers has moved out. It's the worst. Like, you have to make a reservation to take a shower.
No wonder you ran away.
Pretty much. As soon as I finished school, I was just like, okay, time to get out of here.
How long ago was that?
Just a couple months. 2-ish.
What'd you major in?
Huh?
Like, what'd you get your degree in?
Oh, not college. High school.
She's
I
young.
just finished high school.
Yeah, she's 18.
Huh.
Using my elbows, I prop myself up.
What?
How old are you?
18, 19. Putting her hands on her hips, Marina puffs out her cheeks, looks offended.
I'll have you know, it's very rude to ask a lady her age.
Huh. She deflates.
But I'm 18. Why?
Oh, thank God.
Huh. I let myself fall back again.
I was afraid you were gonna be underage and that I'd get arrested for kidnapping or something.
No way! And besides, I told you my parents were fine with it. Well, accepted it. What about you? How old are you?
Just a year older.
She's 19. What?
Wait, you're only 19?
Now it's her turn to be shocked.
How old did you think I was?
Marina busts up laughing. I'm actually a little embarrassed. I look away, blowing my hair away from my face.
Just kidding, just kidding. I figured you were like my age or a bit older. 2 years at the most.
I don't look at her, staring at the wall.
Oh, come on, don't be mad. I was just playing.
All of a sudden, she sounds seriously regretful. I want to mess with her, but the puppy dog look she gives me over her shoulder is too hard to resist.
Sorry, what? My hearing must be getting bad at my old age.
That's kind of funny. She throws a pillow at me from the bed beside her, and I deflect it with my arm.
Good save, Granny.
Granny. Now she leans back too, staring up at the ceiling. My hair spreads across my leg. I don't move it. Or her hair spreads across my leg, sorry. Then I realize that all the worry and nervousness we had about Arches is gone now. Somewhere along the line, we just forgot all about it. Huh? I don't know when we reach the point in a relationship where we can be comfortable being this close to each other, but I'm glad that we have. Maybe, just maybe, I'm enjoying the closeness a little too much. It's been a long time since I've dated someone. Gramps' health made having a girlfriend impossible. There wasn't time for anyone else. Hell, I hardly had time for myself. Not that I cared. I'd do it all over again. Still, it's nice. Having someone to talk to, so it's not just me and my thoughts. And just as I'm about to settle into the mood, she sits up and stretches.
Oh, I'm pretty sleepy. Are you going to bed soon?
Nah, I took a nap earlier, so I'm good. It's only a few hours to Moab, so I'll drive us there tonight.
Moab, huh?
Well, yeah. Something wrong?
No, I was just kind of wondering.
She trails off.
Wondering...
How far away is the Grand Canyon?
From here? I don't know, 3 or 4 hours? But it's in the total opposite direction that we're going.
Oh, okay.
The crestfallen look on her face should have been illegal.
Sorry, I should have looked at the map before I asked.
Smiling, she turns and heads off her bed, disappointment clinging to her like perfume.
Night, Amber.
Leaning against my pillows, I watch as she slowly trods off to the back. Come on now, I'm not that heartless.
Wait a sec.
She freezes mid-step.
I guess since I was gonna drive all night anyway, we can make a detour. A pretty big detour, too. So don't blame me if all the treasure is gone by the time we're done.
She turns around, hope springing in her face now.
But I guess it's like a requirement that you see the Grand Canyon when you're sightseeing in Arizona, so that's what we'll do. You've got a lot of vacations to make up for.
Huh. All of the tiredness and disappointment vanishes in an instant, and like a bird taking flight, she hurries back over to where I'm just standing up. A trademark Marina crash-tackle hug knocks me onto my butt to the bed again. I pat her on the back a couple of times before she rises.
Have I ever told you you're the best?
Huh.
Probably, but don't you forget it.
I couldn't if I tried.
Goof.
I poke her in the belly as I make my way up to the front again.
Grab me an energy drink from the fridge, will ya?
She sits down in the passenger seat. She has 2 cans of energy drink.
Thought you were going to bed.
No way! I'm too excited now. I'll keep you company on the drive. Plus, it's only like 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Beats me. Sounds right.
I pop open the tab of my drink and take a long draught. It tastes awful, but it wakes me up like nothing else. I guess the makers cut out the sweeteners and nice flavors for more stimulants. To drink it faster, I hold my breath and hide the taste and just chug it. Gasping, I crumple the empty can and toss it into the trash bag. Marina, on the other hand, sips it daintily, wincing every time.
Ugh, people seriously drink this stuff?
Somehow. It works, though. It's pretty much the strongest stuff you can get without a prescription.
After taking another sip, Marina retches and sticks her tongue out. She reminds me of a cat with a fur stuck on its tongue. She sets the can in the cup holder beside me.
Do you want mine? I can't drink this.
I'd have a heart attack if I drank too. Just leave it and I'll drink it tomorrow.
Because the only way to improve an energy drink is to let it get warm and flat. As I start the RV, Marina says something, but it's soft enough that I can't hear her over the engine revving.
What was that? Old lady hearing failing on me again.
Oh my gosh. Smiling, she shakes her head.
I was just saying thanks again.
Don't thank me yet. I could fall asleep at the wheel and kill us both.
At least I die happy.
Aww.
No, though, not just that. For taking me with you and doing the treasure hunt and everything.
You must be super tired. You're saying all sorts of weird stuff now.
I mean it. I know it's kind of random. I'm just really happy I met you.
After a moment of blushing, I laugh a little under my breath.
Yeah, me too.
I prevent any more cheesy conversation by carefully pulling out of the parking lot and back onto the exit road. I'm definitely glad Marina's enjoying herself. I'm having fun too, but talking about that sort of thing, it makes me feel all squirmy inside. Like I don't match up to what Marina thinks of me. Pushing those thoughts out of my head, I focus on the road. We have to keep our eyes peeled for animals out here. There are lots of stray dogs in this part of the state, and dozens of deer and antelope just waiting to race cars. The road's devoid of other vehicles, though, and since I know the exits to take, more or less, we should make pretty much good time. Once we get back onto the highway, Marina hoists the bucket of tapes onto our lap.
What do you want to listen to?
I glance between the road and the bin, scanning both. I settle on an album that I haven't had the heart to listen to in a while, but it feels like tonight is the right time. I fish out the tape and slide it into the player. As the first chords start up, I watch Marina's face for a reaction. It won't have the same sentimental value to her, I know, but it's an emotional album in general. Lots of dynamics to the music, and simple but heartfelt songwriting. Sounds like country. Grandpa used to try to play along, but said he couldn't quite capture the feeling himself. And as I had hoped, Marina's quiet, which means that she's listening. Her cheek is pressed against the window again. Her reflection, barely visible, looks wistful. Good. For the second time today, a growing pressure starts in my eyes. I paw at them, and the motion catches Marina's attention.
You sure you're not too tired?
Oh yeah, eyes are just a little itchy.
Damn it, my voice shakes as I speak. But if she notices, she doesn't say anything. This album was another one of Gramps' favorites, and there's a reason I haven't listened to it since he passed. Turning it on might have been a mistake. We may yet go off the road if I end up crying, or I might just die of embarrassment. I sniffle a couple of times to keep myself under control.
Damn allergies.
Damn allergies, yeah. I don't even know if she hears me. I'm kind of tempted to turn it off and play something else, but I want Marina to hear it. It won't mean anything special to her, I'm sure. I just want to see what she thinks. To see if maybe Gramps and I were crazy, or if there was more to the music than just the man playing it. He was a guitarist and a songwriter who just went by the name of June. Died a few years ago. Fighting back the nostalgia and the bubbling feelings of how much I miss Gramps is really hard. I'm able to hold on though, and keeping from breaking down. Aww. 45 minutes later, when the tape ends, Marina hits the play button again to start it all over. I'd say it was worth it. I let it play on for hours, long after Marina's fallen asleep beside me. Aha. Highway Blossoms. So, we are getting close here to the end of Highway Blossoms. Well, no, I wouldn't say we're getting close to the end. I think we're probably 3/4 the way through this, guys. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save this game. And we are going to pick this back up here soon. Probably live stream under the Moonshine number 237. Yeah, I'm starting to feel my eyes close. And even though I'm not driving a big motorhome like Amber here, yeah, I don't want to start nodding off and drift to sleep while reading, which I haven't been known to do before. So we'll finish this up in a third part here, guys, here soon. So thanks so much for watching, whoever's here, and we'll see you in the next one, everybody.